Welcome to Scuba Diver and our Adventures in AQABA series. We've teamed up with AQABA Tourism, and over the next 5 weeks, we're going to be bringing you behind the scenes of this wonderful Middle Eastern destination, both above and below the waterline. Now remember, if you like what we're doing, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell so you don't miss out on any future installments, and let's get started. Welcome to the show. Right, tell us who you are and what do you do?
Hi, how are you? My name is Tahir Darwish. I represent Sinbad Group. We are actually specialized in water sports, yachting, diving, and yacht excursions and marine transportation in Aqaba, Jordan, the Red Sea. To give you a very quick brief about what we are doing, actually we are operating many water sports centers, mainly at the five-star resorts or even at a beach resort that we are running, and that is catering also for the non-beach hotels. So we are trying to make out of Aqaba quite a destination, whether you're staying in a beach hotel or a non-beach hotel. Mainly what we do is we teach and you can always learn water skiing or enhance your skills. If you are a water skier already, we have all the toys, banana tubes, and we have some sort of very important also adventurous and new things like the flyboarding, which is quite a new adventure. People are quite asking about it quite a lot recently, or we are hoping also to promote it more. Maybe it requires some skills, but we also have an instructor for that. We are also we have also the diving, of course. We have a five-star school for diving, for issuing even certificates through PADI and other international organizations. We do also yachting, and that's most of what we are doing. And our last invention or investment was also in linking Jordan to Egypt with an international marine transportation line for tourists only, so only for packages and for tourists that are willing to visit both sides of the Red Sea.
So let's just concentrate on the diving side of things that you do. You said already that you can do certification, so beginners can dive there as well. What levels do you cater up for people who are learning to dive?
We cater all the way to instructor level. Actually, talking about that, I would really like to highlight, this is quite something which I always highlight even in the international travel fairs or through your respectable magazine as well, is that Aqaba is the best location. I'm not saying is one of the best. I would say the best location for beginners, because most of the time it's really calm seas, northern wind. The marine park protected area is right from the beach. It's very shallow, and then again you go deeper and deeper. So it's the ideal spot for beginners to teach. That doesn't mean that it's not the proper area to enhance your skills or also for proficiency levels, but I would really concentrate on beginners. It's the ideal spot, I would say.
In Aqaba, you've got some really nice pristine corals, and you've got a real mix of marine life as well. But you've also got some really unique wrecks that have been sunk for divers as well, I believe.
Definitely, yeah. That's definitely something to talk about and to highlight, because to be honest with you, His Majesty is involved in diving since he was a prince, and he was the one behind the first idea of wreck diving when he sank the Cedar Bride, which became now one of our famous dive wrecks or dive sites eventually. And now that was since 1982, 83 until today. It's really, we celebrated recently 30 years since it was there, and really It's you can see all kinds of marine life surrounding, and even on the ship itself. It's a perfect environment for soft and hard corals. And then again, since this thing really was quite an attraction for tourists, a few years back, like a couple of years back, His Majesty also had the idea. He gave a present from the Jordan Armed Forces for a C-130 plane that was also sank somewhere, which really is an ideal spot, because it was put in a shallower area where it's really perfect even for open water divers, and for the early levels. And then again, it's also good for others. Uh, uh, since this really was a very good idea, immediately after that, another big airplane that was sank, I think they sank it last year, which is a passenger cargo ship, airplane. And then recently, which is going to be quite an attraction, because I saw it. I had the honor actually to dive myself with His Majesty when he came, I think in January, to Aqaba, and we did an amazing dive with His Majesty to the military museum. That was His Majesty's idea, and honestly speaking, this is out of this world, because it's going to be really organized. You're going to have a brief on each piece of this military museum, talking about the history of each military piece under the water. So that's quite a unique idea, I would say. And honestly speaking, looking at these military machines under the water, it's really, of course, they were cleaned from anything that could do any environmental harm or impact. So they were cleaned and they were sank properly with experts.
Now, you mentioned some of the topside attractions that you do with the jet skis and the flyboarding and everything. Let's just do a little bit more detail about some of the boat excursions you do, because I believe there was one trip that you do that goes over to the Pharaoh's Island, is it?
Yeah, that's quite interesting. That was an idea that we developed maybe 20 years ago. Since this island, maybe the nature of the Gulf of Aqaba, you need some time for a tourist. You need a destination to go to, not always to go and stay on board. So that's where the idea came from, that you are going from point A to point B. So that's where we developed the idea of going to Pharaoh's Island, which is around. It's not really that far. It's around 1 hour cruising with a regular cruiser, and we are talking here about small boats, like up to maybe 60, 70 footers. Of course, there are special requirements for these boats according to Jordan Marine Authority. They should have twin engine and some navigational equipments that for safety of the passengers and the crew. And this was quite an experience, and it was really developed since then. So many other companies really invested in this excursion. Like you're going from Aqaba and then you're raising, it's like a ceremony, you're raising the Egyptian flag when you're entering their territorial water, and then start swimming and snorkeling over there at the island, and then going back before the sunset. Talking about that, because of the fact that you had to come back before the sunset, we developed what I just mentioned a bit earlier, the high-speed catamarans that are going for overnights all the way to Taba, which is also the same region, but they are transporters. If you have other program, or you're bringing other tourists that are already there and they would like to come and visit Aqaba and dive in Aqaba or swim or even going all the way to Petra and so on.
So you've got lots of different arms to your operation, which is very interesting. Talk a little bit more about your Berenice Beach Club, because I know you mentioned that, and that you were giving like a waterfront, beachfront option, even for the hotels or people that were staying away from the water. So just tell us a little bit more about what's at your beach club.
For us, actually, this was the idea of Aqaba Special Economic Zone, like to develop a beach club right in the heart of the marine park. You know, most of the beaches are somehow near the marine park, but they are not really right in there. And we developed a beach club, and we won this business opportunity to develop a beach club with all facilities. We're talking about here, a special pier for divers, for boats to dock, and also having a specialized diving club. Talking about that, we also give the permission for other dive clubs to use the beach as well, coming with their clients. So then again, we have the pools. They are really different levels, and we have adults only. We have families and kids. The idea of this beach being in the marine park is promoting Aqaba, even for anybody coming to Aqaba. Yani it's not necessary to pay a very an expensive hotel, let me put it this way, and to stay right on the beach, to use the beach. No, then again, you can still stay in a reasonable priced hotel, and then again, you can come in a very reasonable price. And we even give, according to Aqaba Special Economic Zone instructions, we give transport free. So we have free transportation. Our buses are going all around the clock to the hotels and back. And even we developed a few years back, and we are hoping again now to restart it, a sea taxi that is coming from the Royal Yacht Club and Talabay all the way to Berenice Beach Club.
So finally, just to sum up, what do you think that makes Aqaba such a great destination for tourists in general?
Well, I would say many things, and I'm going to quote from what I hear, and I'll add on it my own opinion. I would say I keep hearing that Aqaba has a beautiful weather. You know, we have zero humidity most of the time of the year. We are northern wind most of the time, and that makes it quite a unique spot, with all respect to other competition in the market, if we are talking about other touristic destinations. So this is one thing. For divers, as I just mentioned, the sea is quite calm and beautiful most time of the year. People, I keep hearing, and again I'm quoting the tourists, are quite friendly. They love tourists. They truly do. So they would help anybody that needs help. Most of the people, I would say, talk English. If you notice that. So it's very friendly environment. The food is really affordable. Most of our criteria match with the European and the Western culture, I would say.
Well, thank you very much for that. That was great having you on the show. That really showcased just some of the reasons that Aqaba should be on your must-visit list in the future. Join us soon for another Adventures in Aqaba, when we'll be looking at even more attractions in this part of the world.